Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video, I want to talk to you about something that I've really been thinking through a lot, and that is, why am I on YouTube? What is my purpose here? So we live, as you know, because you're watching this video, in this crazy world where we can literally watch other people live their lives. We watch people do things like wake up in the morning, make their morning coffee, make their breakfast, go for a run, do their work, just everyday normal things. And before I started making YouTube videos, I really didn't watch a whole lot of YouTube. But when I decided that I did want to start a YouTube channel, because I initially started out with a blog and then started doing YouTube as well. But when I did decide to start on YouTube, I naturally started to watch other YouTube channels as well, just to kind of get an idea of what was out there, how the whole process worked, etc. And when I first started watching YouTube videos, I really mainly only watched sit-down videos. So a video like this where the camera is just staying in one spot and we're talking through some sort of a topic or whatever it is. I really didn't, in the beginning, understand the appeal of vlogs. So to kind of explain the difference in case you don't know, again, this is a sit-down video, and a vlog would be taking you throughout somebody's day. Maybe it's a day in the life or a week in their life, or vlogging some sort of trip, sort of taking you along throughout that trip. And when I first got into YouTube, I really didn't understand the appeal of watching somebody's day in the life video. I'm watching them brush their teeth, again, go for a run, make coffee, whatever. I don't really understand the appeal of this. But then as I started to watch YouTube more, and of course YouTube does its thing in recommending different channels to you, as I started to watch it more, I started to get more into the vlogs, and I started to enjoy them and look forward to watching them. And again, I just started to like the vlog type videos. One, because they're fun to watch, but then two, I started to realize how watching the rhythms and routines of another person started to influence my own. So as I would watch these sit down videos and maybe hear somebody tell me about how they really like to prioritize health and eating healthy foods and getting good sleep, then I could also watch maybe one of their day in the life videos and see these very principles that they were telling me about modeled and lived out in their day-to-day lives. And so I started to realize, as I watched these day in the life videos, I would pick up on little parts of their routines. Maybe it was drinking water first thing in the morning, or learning how to do my makeup a little bit better because I was watching them put on their makeup, or being inspired to work out more because I'm seeing them incorporate a workout into their daily routine. And so while on the one hand, I could learn things directly from a sit-down video, or maybe somebody was telling me something specific, I could also learn things indirectly through observing that person's life. And as I think through this, it really reminds me of the Gospels. I've talked about this before on my channel, but if you're not familiar, the Gospel books are the first 4 books of the New Testament. So Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And the Gospel books tell us the story of Jesus's life and ministry from 4 different perspectives. So these 4 different people wrote about Jesus's life and ministry. And in the Gospels, we see something interesting. On the one hand, we are given Jesus's teaching. So in the Gospels, different sermons of Jesus are recorded. I think of the Sermon on the Mount, perhaps one of the most popular or famous sermons of Jesus, where he is giving us these teachings of blessed are the pure in heart, blessed are the meek. He's teaching us the Lord's Prayer. He is teaching us about discipleship. And so we've got the teachings of Jesus, or the literal sermons of Jesus. But then on the other hand, the Gospels are also a biography. They're sort of a window or an invitation to observe the life of Jesus, to see how he lived his life. It's essentially, like I said, reading a biography. We're getting to see not only what Jesus taught, but how he lived his life. So if Jesus were a YouTuber or a lifestyle influencer, so to speak, he had both in the Gospels. He had the sit-down videos where he was giving us those teachings, those sermons, but then he also had those day in the life vlogs or week in the life vlogs where we are invited to observe how he lives his life and to glean from that as well. As we read the Gospels, we are to observe who Jesus is and be transformed by our intimate knowledge of him. We are to observe how he lived his life here on earth and to model our lives after that. And so as Christians, we are called not only to be disciples of Jesus, but we are also called to make disciples of Jesus. In Matthew 28, Jesus gives the Great Commission to believers, and he says, "Go therefore and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them and teaching them to observe all that I have commanded." And so in that act of being a disciple, not only are we absorbing those teachings of Jesus, but we are also observing them. We are letting them change the way that we live. So now, what is a disciple? A definition I looked up said that a disciple is someone who is a student of the teachings and the life of another person until they become like that person, until they become like the master. And so in the days of Jesus, disciples or rabbis would be these teachers, but the students of those rabbis would literally follow their lives around and not only glean their teachings, but observe their lives and model their lives after them. And so as we are observing Jesus in the scriptures, we should be asking ourselves questions like this: who is he? What is he like? What did he do? What does he teach? And so it's really just absorbing everything that we can learn about Jesus and letting that transform us. There's a quote from John Mark Comer, an author and pastor who I love, and he says that the goal of the Christian life is to be with Jesus, become like Jesus, and then do what he would do if he were you. Because there's that popular saying that says, what would Jesus do? But the reality is that we are not living in Jesus's time, that God has placed you as exactly who you are, in the exact context you are, in the family, with the friends, with the community. And so do what Jesus would do if he were you, if he were in the exact circumstance that you are in, because that's where he has planted you to fulfill the purposes that he has for you. And so that's truly my mission in life, is to be a disciple of Jesus, to continually know him more deeply, to be transformed by that knowledge, and to make disciples of him. As I put it before, my desire and my goal is to know Jesus and to make him known. And so how does this translate into the content I make? Not only here on YouTube, but also on Instagram, on my blog, just anything that I put out there. Well, when I first started on YouTube, I was really only doing sit-down videos. My very first YouTube video, like I referenced, I am sharing something that I learned from Mark chapter 1 and how that influenced me and compelled me to finally start a YouTube channel. And then I started making videos on singleness, because that's where I was at the time, and just what I was learning about the character of God through that and what he teaches about waiting in the Bible. And then I also started making videos on how I study my Bible, and then I started making my Bible study with me videos where we go through a book of the Bible chapter at a time. And so really I was only making these sit down videos. But over time, I also started incorporating more lifestyle content, or more vlogs, where I'm taking you with me maybe through a quiet time in real time, or taking you with me through a day in my life or a week in my life. And the goal in starting to create these types of videos was that I might be able to hopefully show you how the things I'm learning, the teachings of Jesus I'm learning, are impacting the way that I live my life. And so that's really how I've started to see the different types of videos I make, the sit-down videos versus the vlogs, even though there's a lot more different categories even within those. Those are the two big categories. I see the sit-down videos as a place where I can share teachings of what I'm learning as I study God's word and as I walk with him. And then the vlogs are a place where I can share glimpses into a life that is hopefully continually being modeled after the life of Jesus as I learn more about who he is. And so if you will, we kind of have the show versus tell. The show being the vlogs or the more lifestyle videos, and the tell being the more teaching heavy sit down videos. And my hope in sharing any of these videos is that they would maybe introduce you to who Jesus is if you don't know who he is, that they would build you up in your walk with him if you do already know who he is, and that they would help you to continue to get to know him more deeply as well, so that together we can continually be seeking him and allowing him to transform us more into his image. And so this is again just something I've been thinking through in really refining that purpose and wanting to present that to you as well of why I'm here on YouTube, what I hope to do. As I've been thinking through this idea of show versus tell and incorporating both, I'm now starting to think through, what does this look like? Practically, what does this look like in the videos I create? How many vlogs a month should I make versus sit-down videos? And within that, are there specific types of videos I should be focusing especially on? And so to better answer that question, I would love to hear from you. Specifically, I would love to hear what made you subscribe to my YouTube channel in the first place. What is it that you feel like you take away from my channel? And what are your favorite types of videos you see from me? Hearing your answers to these questions is just going to be so helpful for me. It's also going to help me make the type of videos that are going to serve you the best, because that is my heart. And so I would love if you took some time to answer that just down in a comment below. I am so excited to continue making content in 2022 that is both going to encourage me toward Jesus in the creation of the content and hopefully have the same effect on you as well as you watch it. And so lots to look forward to. I will be taking a 1-week break next week from YouTube because I'll actually be traveling with Tyler's family. We're going to Disney World on family vacation, but I'll be back the following week and ready to dive into the new year. Thank you so much for watching this video and helping me answer this question, and for your continual encouragement in the comments you leave and just the sweet messages. It truly means more than you know. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and then also hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.